Hello, y'all. So this is the inspection report. They're always long. It's 78 pages. It's the majority of it's all representative photos. Uh, see here, table of contents. It has a summary. So under each picture, it'll have like a brief definition of whatever's going on with the picture, or it'll just say this is a view of this. And, safety hazards. It's easier just to go to the pictures and go through it that way. The only item I found not working was the hallway bathroom light above the shower. It's actually a really good house. They've taken really good care of it. So these are just representative photos. Service walk view. Driveway. They were home, so I couldn't see it good. So right here is where the sidewalk is. And the driveway connect, it's just over a 1/4 inch, so I have to mark it for a safety trip hazard. And these are just typical settling cracks. Porch view, the handrail was all tight. It is oversized though. It's supposed to be smaller than 2 3/4 inches, and it's just 2x4.
When this was built, that was not the code. So that code just recently changed last year?
No, I don't know. It's been longer than that.
No.
Mm-hmm.
Really?
Yeah, ever since I've been doing home inspections. But if you wanted to...
Like the grasping size, that just started being on my inspection reports in the last couple of years.
Yeah, it's been code for the last 5 years. I know that.
Okay.
So if you wanted to change that, a lot of times what they do is they take one of these balusters and they'll just tack it up top, and that makes it legit. In case like the VA or somebody says anything about it, that's how they usually overcome that. Here's the back deck. So this is just saying that the wood's in contact with the ground right here. The bottom step is missing a little piece right here. It looks like it recently happened.
Yeah.
There's the piece of wood right there. And it doesn't have a proper landing.
Was it rotted or did it just...
It looks like somebody just stepped on there with something heavy because the overhang was so much.
Okay.
It broke off right there. I mean, the deck is older. You definitely got some more life left in it. But the handrail was tight all the way around it. The covering view. This is just saying trim the trees back.
What's the other one say? That's just...
All right, so right here on the front, like if you're facing the house, it's at the right corner of the garage, in the grass right there. And she said they've never operated it, and it's missing a handle. If I had a guess, it goes to the irrigation system.
Okay.
I marked it because the cap right here, the cover, is missing, so it's a trip hazard. Just want to get a cover so nobody falls in it. And the handle is missing right there. This is just saying the irrigation system is not part of a home inspection.
Is that the same one or a different one?
No, it's on the same side of the house, just farther down.
Okay.
But here's the irrigation system back here at the back corner behind the chimney is where all this is located. So they got the hose bib in the front and back are both brand new hose bibs. They're the winter frost proof type, and they do have anti-siphon devices built onto them. I got 54 pounds of water pressure coming out. It's probably more like 60 to 64 pounds of water pressure. With it having an anti-siphon device, my reader doesn't read as high as it normally would, but it's well within acceptable range. 40 is the minimum and 80 is the maximum. So it's definitely right in the middle where you want it to. And they're both secure on the front side and back side. I got up on the roof. Roof looks good. It's within the last 5 years. All the nail heads were still covered with tar. Let's see. These are just roof views. Yeah, so here's your gable vent right here. And your other ventilation is soffit vent. Look good overall. So right here, this is... So this would be right over the garage right here, and this is where the front porch overhang is going to be. Just need a little bit of, I can zoom out, a little bit of sealing right here. It's not bad at all. It just needs tar put at this little spot just to keep any water from going behind it. Let me try to zoom back out. Oh, there we go. All right, and then yeah, so that's actually right here. And so this right here, it does have flashing underneath all this. It's just saying the siding's in contact with the roof surface. They're supposed to leave an inch to an inch and a half gap between the two, but it's a very common practice around here that they build them like that. It's probably 90% of the houses I see. And it's saying, this one right here is saying roof flashing is not visible because of the siding touching the actual shingles. But everywhere I was supposed to see flashing, I was able to see it. All right. So this is the HVAC vent right here for the heater. It's got a little bit of rust on it, not bad at all. Just a little bit at the bottom right here and a tiny little bit at the top. Just a little spot. And
Was it need just paint maintenance?
Yeah, and then the plumbing vents, all your plumbing vent boots were good. So within the last year, we were supposed to tell you to start painting these black. It helps preserve the life of the PVC pipe. And this is the same. This is actually the water heater vent right here. There's just a little bit of rusting at the bottom of it. Not bad. Chimney chase. So they got a brand new chimney cap up there.
Oh, yeah. I was zooming in while you were zooming in.
Yeah. So brand new chimney cap, so it's all good to go.
Sexy.
If I was to do anything, there's a little bit of paint missing right here on some bottom trim. Got flashing right here. Yeah, looks good. Like, they've really taken care of this house. So the biggest issue I found with the exterior by far, so a lintel is this thing that goes above the doors and windows. And what happens is the rust expand when
it's a strip of metal.
And when the metal rusts, it expands and then it contracts, and you just got to stay up with the painting maintenance on them. But when they do expand, it creates these little cracks right here. So over here, and I brought this to the homeowner's attention since they were there. This is above the primary bathroom window. They did not know it was like this, and I could tell they were really shocked and went out there. So it looks like when they were installing the new windows, that the window may have been too big and they tried to make it fit. And what happened is this top piece, where the lintel is, so the lintel goes from here to here, the whole lintel lifted up a couple inches, creating this gap. Thankfully, they have an overhang right above it, so no water's gotten behind it and damaged everything. But I did bring it to their attention, and they seemed like they were going to fix it. But honestly, I would just fill it with mortar, make sure this piece is still secure, and put mortar in there. I can't believe the contractor left it like that and didn't say anything, because it's hard to see because it's got a big tree in the front yard. The only way I was able to see it is I got on the roof. All right, and then this is solid down here. It's just little paint maintenance where they hit it with a weed eater. This is the side door to the garage.
What page is that?
Painting maintenance. Which one?
Just the page. So I can go back to it.
20 and 21 is the one I'm on now.
Okay. More paint.
So no, right here.
Oh yeah.
So here's so it has wooden fascia, and it has metal fascia too. It just has metal on the front and metal on the back, where they hung the gutters up. So the fascia is wooden, which has its pros and cons. The good news is it's easy to replace because you just take this piece out and stick a new piece up. Honestly, I would go with the PVC boards now. The way you don't have to worry about maintenance on them anymore. Needs a little bit of painting maintenance in some areas, and then a few other areas have a little bit of wood deterioration. Get to a good picture. So they've been keeping up with the painting, but you can just tell when I was up there, when I touched it, it was really soft right here. You can see it kind of in the picture. But it's only like that on the side above the garage. The other side just needs painting maintenance. What is going on with my computer tonight?
Mm-hmm. There you go.
It does not want to cooperate. Alright, there we go. Finally get some Mac right, computer. And then right here at the corners, and it's actually pretty easy to get to with the location. These pictures right here are all taken with me standing on top of the garage. And so some of the windows have been fully caulked recently, and some of them haven't. And I think there was 2 of them where the sides have been caulked, just the bottom needed to be recalked. And then right here at the front corner, this is where the metal fascia connects to the wooden fascia. You just want to put some caulk right there to keep any moisture from going behind it. And then penetration caulking right here. This is all caulking pictures. And then once you caulk something, 3 months later, there's a good chance it's going to crack, and then you just caulk it again, and then usually it holds. So here's your service entry view. It's underground. Here's your bonding or grounding wire view right underneath it. Here's your rear exterior outlet. It resets inside the garage. The outlet is loose. It's only loose when I found it. It needs to be tightened up. But it is wired correctly. Alright. Doors were good. Had good weather stripping. The garage view. So obviously I couldn't get to a lot of the outlets and stuff in here. So the doors have 2 type of sensors. They have a photo eye sensor and a pressure sensor. The photo eyes work great on both of them. They're both lined up correctly. The right side door, the pressure sensor is where it should be, but the left side right here is not. There should be an adjustment up here. And they said all this is new, so
Just needs to be adjusted.
yeah, it needs to be adjusted. Electrical view. So right above the water softener is where I reset the exterior outlet, and the garage outlet was right here. And the water softener is right below the water heater.
Hinge?
Yeah,
Oh,
just an automatic closure hinge.
What is an automatic closure hinge?
So like if you were to run in, if you had a fire in the garage and you were to run in the house, the door would automatically close behind you. You don't see them too often. In fact, I think out of the thousands of houses I've inspected, I think I've seen 2. It's one of the things I mark all the time. That and weather stripping for the attic. But I mark this more than weather stripping, actually. Bathroom views, primary bathroom. And I checked all this for any moisture and stuff and didn't find any, because up here is where that gap is on the exterior. Little nail popping above the toilet. Receptacle. Plumbing view. Toilet was tight. The only toilet that was loose was the half bath. Alright, so here's the very awesome shower that their tile guy was amazing. He did a wonderful job. I took a video of it all running, but so these right here, the 6 shower heads for your body, each one of them has a little valve up top, and you open and close that valve. So I think it was this handle, the second to last or third to last one. When you open it up, it opens all these up, but each one of them has its own little on-off switch on top of each faucet. The rain shower worked good. The sprayer worked good behind it. Like, it's an awesome shower. The exhaust fan light worked good. In the light, it's kind of tricky. You got to press on it a certain way to get it to turn on, and it's right next to the light switch.
Did it have a speaker? Because it looked
yeah.
like
So
okay.
the middle is a speaker right here. Is a Bluetooth speaker, and then you got the light, and then above the light is actually the exhaust fan, and it does go to the exterior like it should. took me a minute to find it in the attic.
Meaning it vents out to the exterior as it should. A lot of times we find them venting into the attic as it's not supposed to do. It's supposed to actually take moisture out of a room, so it doesn't do any good to put it back into another room inside that house.
Because when it vents into the attic, it has a tendency to cause mold to build up and things like that. So it's good like it should be. And same with the hallway bathroom. It does go to the exterior also.
This was another light I could not get to turn on.
Yeah, well, so, I'm pretty sure it needs to be
Bulb.
changed out. So this is above the shower. It still has the normal light above around the mirror, but this one's above the shower in the hallway bathroom. It did have one tiny, when I say tiny, little plumbing leak right here. It's definitely fixable with like some plumber's tape, but it's the valve that opens and closes the stopper.
We're gonna ask them to do it.
Yeah, it's got a small leak, and there's a video of it showing you it's leaking. And then the sink, it drains. It's just kind of got a slow drain. Needs a little bit of caulking right there. Let's see, toilet.
The slow drain.
Yeah, the sink has a little bit of slow drain. It drains. It's just I fill the sink up and it should drain in under 10 seconds, and it's at like almost 20 seconds once it's full. So it's just probably
Got some hair.
Yeah. Which they got little kids there, and I couldn't even tell by like the walls and
They got
stuff.
2 dogs and you can't tell.
No, they're very clean, organized people. He was pretty high up in the military, judging by the
She was
stuff.
laughing because I told her, I was like, when I walked through there and I saw how anal everything was sitting on the desk and her eyes, she rolled her eyes. I was like, I knew he was going to be anal about the house too. She's like, he is. Oh my God. And then she started laughing.
Yeah, he was. It was funny because when I got there, he was all dressed nice. And then later he had changed into normal house clothes. I guess when he was done with working, he was like a totally different guy.
What's that?
So this is just caulking around the sink
Okay.
on the countertop. And then the toilet in the half bath is loose. It needs to be tightened up down here. Drain good. Exhaust fan. Primary bedroom view. So almost every window inside the house on the interior part just needs a bead of caulk around it. They're pretty new windows, and they've caulked most of them, but some of the caulk just cracks after a few months.
Caulk maintenance is every couple of years. Actually, we probably need to do this house.
Yeah.
Especially exterior.
This is just saying it doesn't have a globe around it. It's an exposed light bulb.
Wait, you're going at, what was you pointing at? Right
This
there?
is the same caulking around window.
More caulk?
Just a different window.
Just caulk everything.
Yeah. I mean, that's all the window pictures. There was one that had insulated glass failure. The rest of them, all the balances were good and everything. And it is the double where the top sash comes down also.
Awesome.
Yeah. They're pretty new windows. Yeah, and new windows do get insulated glass failure. Because we got a brand new sliding glass door back there that has it.
That one.
And then here's the one that has the insulated glass failure.
Bedroom?
Yeah, it's going to be the back bedroom.
Okay. That's her son's room. That's a room. So I was talking to her today. Remember how I said there was one room that smelled like, where I got a hint of dog, just a little bit?
Mm-hmm.
She's like, that's my son's room. He's kind of stinky. I'm like,
it's a big room, too.
It's a huge room.
I was like, Dad, gum.
Did you love this house? I love this house.
Yeah, I thought it was a great house, to be honest with you. Crawl space is in good shape.
Encapsulated, right?
Yeah.
Sexy.
It does have a dehumidifier down there that was working like it should.
What is this?
This is just nail pops.
Oh, okay.
At
That's
ceiling.
nail pops.
So a nail pop, what it is whenever they put the sheetrock up, I don't want to look at
Sorry.
What happens is a nail sometimes gets a little moisture or humidity and it'll expand and then it'll contract and then it makes a nail pop. It's very common. So this is, I believe this is the kitchenette. It was the kitchenette, and then the dining room has very small hairline cracks right here. It's nothing to worry about. When they get to be over a 1/4 inch, that's when you really want to worry. These are just typical cracks. I don't know why my computer's been so weird last week. I need to take it. I've been working on it. And then here's the other one in the dining room. The same thing going up, except it's a little smaller. It just goes straight up instead of at an angle. It's actually a pretty clean report. Damper does work. They do use the fireplace. So the hearth extension's adequate. Hearth extension's supposed to be at least 16 inches, and y'all's is at 21, I believe, when I measured it. So damper did work. Yeah, and then so when I took the cover off the furnace in the attic, and I went and turned it on, the flames were super blue like they should be. There wasn't any orange in them. And I went down there and talked to the homeowner because they were so blue. It was like, it's 2012. Usually it has some orange or some type of something wrong with the heat exchanger. And he says he's been getting it serviced every year, once a year, which Miller's Heating and Air has been doing it for him. And they've been doing a good job. You have a ginormous garbage disposal. If you need to hide the bodies, that's where you go.
Yeah,
it's like,
it is.
Yeah, it's a big garbage disposal. And it works. Dishwasher.
That's brand new.
Yeah, I couldn't turn the dishwasher on because it was loaded with dishes. The refrigerator is a KitchenAid, and it was in great shape.
That was also badass.
Yeah, so all the appliances in the kitchen were within the last year. There is something going on with the oven light, and they have somebody coming out there to fix it. They were telling me. It's brand new. They were
He is anal.
yeah, well, it's only been like a month, and they were like, they can either come fix it or we're taking it back and going with a different brand. So it's just showing me testing things. So the aluminum foil in there is just to keep it clean so nothing gets at the bottom of it. They explained this to me while I was in there. Yeah, they were nice people.
They were very nice.
Yeah, so here's the laundry room. It doesn't have a drip pan, but it's also on the first floor. So it's not like it's up on the second floor where it's going to cause major issues if there was a small leak. This is just saying this should be GFCI protected. Any outlet within 6 feet of a potential water source. Some people don't like their laundry rooms being GFCI protected in case they're away from the house and it trips. That way their clothes don't spoil. Electrical service panel, you got 150 amps coming in. You have aluminum main wires coming in. The ground wire view. It's just saying the main wires are aluminum. Recommend antioxidant paste.
I was going to say, do they have the sealant on them?
No, I didn't see any antioxidant paste up there.
Okay. We're going to ask for that, though.
And then, so, these are your ground, or your distributing wires. Mm-hmm. They do have a couple that have, it's kind of hard to see like this, but you can see a copper wire and then a white wire going underneath the same lug. They should be separated.
Double tap?
Yeah.
All right, so the aluminum wire, what we're talking about with the antioxidant, explain that really quick.
So aluminum expands and contracts with electricity. And so what antioxidant paste does, it keeps it from expanding and contracting. It keeps it having a good seal on the bolt the whole time.
Perfect.
All right, so here is the plumbing. So here is your water main shut off. It's digital. They just had the pipe replaced. And it kind of goes right over there to where the chimney is. And here it is coming up from the city. So the chimney's right here, and then here's where the water comes up on the side of it. 3/4 inch PEX. So some of the distributing piping, like the new bathroom, they replaced it with PEX. Some of your old piping, original piping, is polybutylene or Quest piping. So it has a tendency to fail right here at the fittings a lot of times. I didn't see any leaks or anything. I ran the water while I was in the crawl space looking for any drainage leaks or distributing piping leaks. I didn't see any. The vapor barrier was dry. The good news is it's in the crawl space and it's not exposed to the elements.
Which is how it gets brittle.
Yeah, which is how it gets brittle.
How much of it have they replaced?
I believe just going to the primary bathroom.
Okay.
Of course, I can't follow it all the way up the wall. The good news is you can see the majority of it right here, and it's in the crawl. So if you had to replace it, it's not like you're having to tear out the walls.
Yeah.
And they may have to, open up a wall to get to some of it, but it's not like it when it's on a slab and it's all very hard to get to. You got a lot of plumbing clean outs down there in the crawl. This is the plumbing clean out in the laundry room. This is drain piping. It's all PVC. Here's your main fuel shut off right here. Gas meter on the exterior home. Your water softener. Water softener was 2 years old, I believe.
We don't even need water softeners here.
No. So here is the water heater data tag. I had to really reach over to get it, and it was a 2023 tankless heater.
Nice.
Yeah, it's nice. They got it turned up to 130 on there. The highest reading I got was at 118, which is usually pretty common. You don't want to go over 120 because then you risk of scalding. So right here, what this is saying is a TPR valve is the temperature pressure release valve, and it's this little brass piece right here, and the extension is right here. So they have the right length extension. It's just a normal piece of PEX piping right here, and they do make a special piece to screw in here of PEX that can handle the hot temperature or the pressure. This is just a normal piece is all it's saying. But I mean, it's in the garage and it's shooting straight down. It's supposed to have yellow writing on the backside, which I could not find. That's why I had to mark it. Did me just showing you I got the water temperature. This picture is at 115. All right. So exterior heat pump is a 2012. Service disconnect, data tag. It does need to be leveled, sunk down just a little bit on the back side of it. And then right here, the insulation on the Freon line set needs to be replaced.
The pool noodle.
Yeah. So you do have two thermostats. You have one on the second floor and one on the first floor hallway. So you have a zone heating and air system, which is it's electric. So your thermostat reads the temperature, and so you have a damper that's in your main ducting set, and it reads the temperature. So the damper will automatically close off to half the house when it gets to the proper temperature, and it'll open up to the other side of the house. It's a good thing to have. Heating system, I think it was 2012 also. Service disconnect, data tag. Here's a video of the flames. I mean, you can look at the picture right here and see how nice the flames are on the heat exchanger. Yeah.
I love anal homeowners.
Yeah. And I think the insulation from the Freon was probably from one of the dogs, the beagle.
Yeah.
Now here's the AC part. It was 2000. One of them was 2013. Yeah, it was the AC. Main condensation line right here. This is your secondary condensation line. It doesn't have a technical float switch, but it does have a switch right here to where if water does get in the pan, it's still going to kick the unit off like a normal float switch would. So you got 3 levels of protection up there in a good deep drip pan, which is good. Representation photos of the attic. Pretty big attic. When you go in through this door right here, this is all storage in this area. You have between 10 and 12 inches of insulation throughout the attic, loose fiberglass. And just representation photos. Attic was good. I didn't see any moisture stains on sheathing or anything. sweat a lot in that attic. Just climbing around. Here's crawl space view. Foundation walls, they look good. So right here above the crawl space entrance so this is the siding right here, and you can just see this little, it's about a 1/4 inch to 1/2 inch gap right here where the siding just doesn't go all the way down. I would personally fill it up with silicone or something just to keep any animals or anything like that from going in and out. Crawl spaces, the beams look good. You actually got 4 beams going through the house. So right here, this one joist, whenever they redid the kitchen, they cut this joist more than halfway deep to install this pipe right here. That's all it's saying. That was all I found with like any of that. And there was one spot on the subfloor right here. So right here, there's a little spot right here on the subfloor. You can tell where they replaced this part. I believe it's the old subfloor right here. And then a little bit of organic growth. Not bad.
That'll get flagged on the moisture report.
So here is the dehumidifier. And it's got a pump right here on this side kicking the condensation out. This is the new dehumidifier. And it's up off the ground like it should be. There is an outlet right here that it's plugged into. Vapor barrier. Smoke detectors and carbon monoxide. So you do have gas in the house, although I believe your only gas appliances is the water heater and the furnace. I didn't see anything in the kitchen, but so this smoke detector, I tested it. It did not work. Did not see any carbon monoxide detectors. And it does have a whole house ADT security system that they never activated. And usually your smoke detectors will be hooked up to that. So I would just keep in mind to get carbon monoxide detectors and new smoke detectors. You want to install carbon monoxide detectors low to the ground. You do not want to put carbon monoxide detectors on the ceiling or near the ceiling because it's a heavy gas. Yeah,
it'll be dead.
You're just telling the neighbors you're dead at that point. That's it.
There's the glossary. All right. Overall, feeling about the house?
Yeah, I think it's a great house.
I do too. I think it's an awesome house.
Like, right. I mean, they were shocked when I showed them above that window. Like, he went out there, he's like, I can't see it. And I was like, yeah, I had to get on the roof. And so he, like, stuck his head out the bathroom and was like, oh, my God.
He was probably embarrassed.
He was.
He was probably embarrassed. He was expecting a perfect house. That's the kind of guy that beams. Yeah. He's waiting for the A+.
Yeah.
Like, and I knew it.
So.
That's awesome. All right, cool. I'm going to end this, and thank you.